and welcome to the Bot Box. Every so often I end up talking about a robot with an unusual or unique weapon situation. Crushtacean, a round but flat invertible silver coloured robot armed with two hand-operated pincers forced into that bucket. Basically, the weapons operator would wear a pair of gloves, and when they close their hands, and the pincers closed. Clever. Crushtacean made its debut in Series 5 of Robot Wars, landing in Heat H, where it first faced Axbot Flipper Robo Chicken Evo. Robo Chicken Evo flicked Crushtacean early on, but but Crushtacean landed on its wheels. Crushtacean then tried to push Robo Chicken Evo around and got it close to Sergeant Bash before trying to grab Robo Chicken Evo's flipper. It didn't quite work as Robo Chicken Evo used its flipper to get rid of Crushtacean, just sent it away. Go away. Robo Chicken Evo still ended up on the flame pit and drove into Sergeant Bash though. Crushtacean did manage to briefly get a hold of Robo Chicken Evo, but Robo Chicken Evo elected to push the grabber around. Robo Chicken Evo, however, was the one that ended up with Sir Kill-A-Lot. Robo Chicken Evo escaped, albeit with a bad eye because of Sir Kill-A-Lot's pincers, and flipped Crushtacean over. Crushtacean responded by pushing Robo Chicken Evo into a corner, leaving it with Sergeant Bash and opening the pit. Robo Chicken Evo got out, but it wasn't long before Crushtacean grabbed Robo Chicken Evo. But Robo Chicken Evo sent Crushtacean to Sir Kill-A-Lot, who picked up Crushtacean as time ran out and the judges were called in. They ruled in favour of Crushtacean, but it was a split decision. Next up was 15th seeded Bulldozer Bot Behemoth. Behemoth pushed Crushtacean around early on, but Crushtacean got free and opened the pit, only for Behemoth to go after Crushtacean and axe the crab bot. Yeah, Behemoth had an axe in Series 5 for damage points. Crushtacean got away again and managed to push Behemoth into a wall, grab onto Behemoth's self-righting device, because it was sticky out, send it to an angle grinder, and then the pit, sending Crushtacean to the Heat Final, where it faced Wheelie Big Cheese, Flipper, and the Tent Seeds. And Crushtacean had a good secret weapon for the fight. A cheese grater, not unlike this one. Just basically, a cheese grater is attached to one of the claws. And yes, cheese puns. Too easy for Wheelie Big Cheese, but their opponents, their game. Those are the rules. Wheelie Big Cheese's team had been contemplating tomato sauce. That goes well. No, now is not the time to be talking about cheese pizza. Crushtacean elected to run away early on, not wanting to go anywhere near that flipper lest it become a flying crab. Alas, his caution and getting chased by Wheelie Big Cheese landed Crushtacean with dead metal. Crushtacean wiggled out and tried to grab Wheelie Big Cheese, but got caught by an angle grinder instead. Crushtacean got away, but ended up chased by Wheelie Big Cheese again. Crushtacean opened the pit. Wheelie Big Cheese then flipped Crushtacean twice before backing off ahead of a third flip that caused Crushtacean to lose its aerial. So therefore, they could blow out with the remote controls, they could crab dance all they want, but Crushtacean would not respond. A fourth and a fifth flip followed before Wheelie Big Cheese pushed Crushtacean so it could breathe in the pit. The cheese grater, which this is not the cheese grater from the fight, obviously, this is just a cheese grater. The cheese grater that was used in the fight ended up mangled. So, what we have learnt, cheese graters work on cheese made of hard cheese. So, your cheddars, your mozzarella, I think it works on mozzarella. So, it works on vegan cheese as well, but does not work on cheese made out of titanium, which is what Wheelie cheese is made out of. Crushtacean returned for Series 6, where it landed in Heat Sea, where it drew flipper Dantom Kier, vertical spinner Dr. Fist, and spike bot Mr. Nasty. Crushtacean was also going to have a hydraulic system for this series, but it proved so complicated it never made it into the arena. They just kept with the system they had, kept with what worked. Crushtacean went after Mr. Nasty early on and pushed it around the arena and snipped Mr. Nasty's aerial off. Mr. Nasty eventually got away and stopped because its aerial had been snipped off. Dr. Fist had also stopped working, so that meant Crushtacean was dealing with Dantom Kier solo. Dantom Kier duly flipped Crushtacean into a corner. Crushtacean got attacked by Skillet and was barely alive on release. Dantom Kier used Crushtacean to open the pit and left it there, but as it lasted longer than Dr. Fist and Mr. Nasty, it got through. To face 5th seeded Flipper and Series 3 and 4 champions Chaos 2, whose team captain suggested the hydraulics. How very nice of him. Crushtacean was also down a claw because they burnt out a motor in one fight. Didn't have spares, so had to use one of the claw motors instead. Chaos 2 pushed Crushtacean early on, but Crushtacean showed no fear, going after Chaos 2 and grabbing it with one claw, even whilst the 5th seeds were trying to flip Crushtacean over. Chaos 2 did manage to flip Crushtacean away, but the 5th seeds ended up on their sides and Crushtacean wasted no time in sending Chaos 2 to an angle grinder. Chaos 2 got back on its wheels and multiple pushing walls and multiple attempts to flip Crushtacean ensued. One was successful, but mostly they pushed Crushtacean away. Crushtacean opened the pit and accidentally reversed in. Oh! They meant to go forwards. But they went backwards instead. Still, they did win an award in Series 6. That was the Most Original Entry Award. They had been nominated for Best Newcomer, but did not get that award in Series 5. But Series 6, they got the award. There's a clause. Crushtacean returned for the Commonwealth Carnage in the second series of Robot Wars Extreme, where it represented South Africa as its team captain was South African. In the first round, it faced Rama Cerberus, representing Cyprus, Canadian horizontal spinner Terra Turtle, and Welsh lifter and regular Series 2 champion Panic Attack. Crushtacean was the last robot to enter the fray, annoying the ref bot before tangling with Cerberus. Indeed, Crushtacean used Cerberus to open the pit and dropped Cerberus in. Crushtacean then went out of focus, only getting in focus when it annoyed Panic Attack, until that is Crushtacean teamed up with Panic Attack to go after Terra Turtle. This resulted in Terra Turtle getting close to the pit before Crushtacean backed off and went out of focus again. Well, until Crushtacean attacked Skillet while Skillet was attacking Terra Turtle. Snipped Skillet's hydraulics beautifully. As time ran out and the judges called in, Crushtacean was out of focus again. But Crushtacean and Panic Attack went through. Next up for Crushtacean was Scottish full-body spinner Corkscrew. Crushtacean took a non-damaging hit from Corkscrew before managing to get a hold of it and sending it to an arena wall. Crushtacean then opened the pit, which took a couple of tries, and dropped Corkscrew in. Crushtacean following. But Corkscrew hit the ground first, so Crushtacean won. So that sent Crushtacean through to the final of the Commonwealth Carnage, where it faced English flipper Firestorm 4. Crushtacean got far away from Firestorm 4 early on, but Firestorm 4 drove under Crushtacean without flipping it. Firestorm 4 then tried to attack Crushtacean a bunch of times, either by sending Crushtacean to an arena wall or trying to flip it. This just ended up with Crushtacean spending time with dead metal. Crushtacean's attempts to get free failed, and Firestorm 4's next 3 flips freed Crushtacean, but also put Crushtacean on its side, and it could not self-right from there. So Crushtacean got counted out, and Firestorm 4 won. Now, it's time for a Dutch diversion. You see, Crushtacean also entered Dutch Robot Wars. The team captain did some work in the Netherlands, so that allowed him to enter Dutch Robot Wars. However, Crushtacean was not known as Crushtacean in Dutch Robot Wars. It was known as Crabbot, as the pun in Crushtacean does not translate into Dutch at all. Crabbot made its debut in the second series of Dutch Robot Wars, landing in Heat C, where it slew Spikebot Alien Destructor 2. Crabbot took the scenic route to get to Alien Destructor 2, but it got there, got a hold of the Spikebot, and actually managed to put holes in Alien Destructor 2 before letting Alien Destructor 2 go. Alien Destructor 2 responded by shoving Crabbot into an arena wall, but Alien Destructor 2 also backed off. So did Crabbot, straight into dead metal. Crabbot escaped though, and quickly grabbed Alien Destructor 2 in such a way that half of Alien Destructor's wheels ended up off the arena dance floor. Alien Destructor 2 was still able to push Crabbot around, doing an even better job of this once Crabbot let go of Alien Destructor 2. Crabbot escaped, drove into an empty corner and got hold of Alien Destructor 2 again, but this time Crabbot was pushing Alien Destructor 2 around. These names! Both bots ended up too close to Sergeant Bash, and Dead Metal's arrival hindered their escape. Crabbot escaped anyway, and Alien Destructor 2 didn't. But it wasn't for want of trying. Crabbot opened the pit and stayed clear as the house robots tended to Alien Destructor 2. Alien Destructor 2 was still with the house robots as time ran out, and the jury was called in. With the Dutch Robot Wars, it was still it's judges, but Dutch Robot Wars, they called the jury. Don't ask. Either way, they ruled in favour of Crabbot. Next up was Flipper Hammerhead 2. Crabbot got a hold of Hammerhead 2 early on and took it for a spin around the arena. Hammerhead 2 escaped and nearly drove into Matilda, but escaped. Crabbot 2 reversed into an arena wall and got flicked by Hammerhead 2. Robot driving is harder than it looks, kids. But soon got a hold of the shark-themed Flipper and pushed it across the arena, but somehow Hammerhead 2 got away. It took a little while for Crabbot to get a hold of Hammerhead 2 again, but when it did, it took Hammerhead 2 for a spin. Again. Lovely. Dizzy robots! Anyway, this spinning caused Hammerhead 2 to hit the arena wall pretty hard, followed by Matilda. Crabbot and Hammerhead 2 got away, and Crabbot let Hammerhead 2 go. Hammerhead 2 responded by pushing Crabbot around the arena and setting off the arena spinner, not that the arena spinner ever did anything, and let Crabbot go. The two bots danced around each other as Crabbot tried to grab Hammerhead 2 again, but was having a hard time doing so. After driving into an arena wall, and Shunt, and having a nudge from Hammerhead 2, Crabbot got a hold of Hammerhead 2 again, spin it around and let go. Hammerhead 2 responded by trying to push Crabbot, but instead Crabbot pushed Hammerhead 2 into an angle grinder, and as time ran out, and the jury was called in. They ruled in favour of Crabbot. In the heat final, they faced horizontal spinner Twisted Metal Evo. The two bots danced around each other before Crabbot tried to get hold of Twisted Metal Evo, but just ended up sitting on its opponent's spinner instead. Not a good place to sit. Crabbot quickly got away and Twisted Metal's Evo's weapon got up to speed. Again, these names. It wasn't long before Crabbot managed to grab Twisted Metal Evo and take it for a spin. Again, dizzy robots. Twisted Metal Evo then pushed Crabbot, but Crabbot pushed back and sent Twisted Metal Evo into an arena wall. The two bots ended up close enough to a corner that Sakillots took an oar in. Crabbot suddenly found itself in a tug of war with the massive house robot, and Twisted Metal Evo was in the unenviable position of being the rope. Sakilot won the tug of war, of course, picked Twisted Metal Evo up and gave it a spin before returning it to the arena dance floor. Crabbot then reversed into Sakilot and drove off, staying clear of Twisted Metal Evo, whose spinner was now down, but still getting nudged twice. When Twisted Metal Evo tried that trick again, Crabbot managed to grab Twisted Metal Evo and push it a bit before letting it go. The two robots danced around each other for a bit afterwards, Crabbot getting close to grabbing Twisted Metal Evo before the spinner drove away right into Matilda's flywheel. That didn't end well. Crabbot then grabbed Twisted Metal Evo, pushed it into a wall and delivered it to Skillbot, which picked Twisted Metal Evo up, spun it around and returned it to the arena dance floor. Crabbot opened the pit, avoiding tangling with Skillbot, and pushed Twisted Metal as time ran out and the jury was called in. They ruled in favour of Crabbot, sending it to the grand final of Dutch Robot Wars. There, in the first round of the grand final, Crabbot first faced Crusher Philippa 2. Crabbot missed grabbing Philippa 2, but did push it into an arena sidewall before backing off. A second attempt at grabbing Philippa 2 ended with Crabbot getting flipped and landing nice and neatly on the arena angle grinder. Philippa 2 tried to attack, but backed off, and the ref bot freed Crabbot. And it wasn't long before Philippa 2 was trying to push Crabbot around the arena. But Crabbot slipped away, grabbed Philippa 2 and sent it to a corner, where Philippa 2 tried to flip Crabbot and failed because Crabbot was holding Philippa 2's flipper. That was when Shunt and Growler rocked up and stuck their oars in, separating Crabbot and Philippa 2. Shunt even tried to axe Crabbot, but Crabbot escaped. So did Philippa 2, which flipped Crabbot over. Crabbot responded by pushing Philippa 2 to a corner, where Philippa 2 flicked Crabbot, but only succeeded in getting one of Crabbot's claws trapped in its flipper. Kinda like. So that meant Crabbot could push Philippa 2 around, though not very quickly, and soon Growler had got hold of Crabbot and dragged both Crabbot and Philippa 2 away. Crabbot got dragged further away as Growler's interference freed Crabbot from Philippa 2. Crabbot got released near the flame pit and tried to grab Philippa 2, which he didn't quite do, but still pushed Philippa 2 as time ran out and the jury was called in. They ruled in favour of Philippa 2. Thus endeth the Dutch diversion. So, back to the UK series and back to Crushtacean being called Crushtacean. But before we talk about Crushtacean Series 7 run, we have to talk about Crushtacean's World Championship qualifier, which aired before its Series 7 run. It faced Irish horizontal spinner Topbot. Once again, Crushtacean was representing South Africa. Crushtacean pushed Topbot into a corner, but backed off as Topbot's spinner got up to speed. Crushtacean annoyed the ref bot as Topbot hit Crushtacean and the wall, breaking it. The Vandal. How did they get away with that? Crushtacean then grabbed Topbot, pushed Topbot around, opened the pit, broke the pit release tire, and dumped Topbot into the pit. So, onto the Series 7 run, where Crushtacean landed in Heat L and do the 10th seeds Behemoth. Remember, they're a bulldozer with an axe. Dutch Clawbot bot Tartarus, and Flipper UFO. Crushtacean was out of focus early on, but its first target was UFO, until Behemoth elected to bother Crushtacean after it had dealt with Tartarus. Behemoth pushed Crushtacean to a wall and turned the crab bot over a few times, UFO trying to help, but its weapon just was not working. Crushtacean escaped, but very quickly found itself under attack from both Behemoth and UFO. UFO sending Crushtacean to an arena wall, and UFO's attacks with its assist from Behemoth got Crushtacean on its side. Shuntax Crushtacean before Behemoth flipped Crushtacean out of the arena. Well, that's what we call a vengeance served cold. So, on to the World Championships, where Crushtacean faced Dutch Vertical Spinner Pulverizer and Swiss Crusher Snakebite. Crushtacean opened the pit right away before going after the nearest robot, Pulverizer, pushing the Dutch bot around and sending it very close to Sergeant Bash. Snakebite, meanwhile, wasn't moving at all. Crushtacean kept going after Pulverizer and introducing it to an arena wall and getting hold of the Dutch bot. Crushtacean let go and ended up out of focus as Snakebite was counted out. Crushtacean kept having a go at Pulverizer and Snakebite when he ended up in the way, but Crushtacean's focus was mainly on Pulverizer. Then the already counted out and thus beaten but somehow alive Snakebite tried to attack Crushtacean. It must have taken a while to wake up Snakebite. In the last few seconds before the judges were called in, Dead Metal dragged Snakebite and Crushtacean away, and Crushtacean escaped. The judges ruled in favour of Crushtacean. Next up was Sri Lankan horizontal spinner Supernova. Crushtacean drove straight into Supernova, but this cost Crushtacean half its drive, and thus it could only crab walk. I feel the need to say something about the irony of the situation. Not that Supernova took advantage of having a sitting duck to aim at. Sitting crab. Crushtacean just about missed the Shuntax blow, and Supernova missed Crushtacean altogether multiple times until it landed a blow that broke one of Crushtacean's claws, the right one, and Shuntax the robot crab. Crushtacean was also now immobile, got counted out, picked up bicycle a lot, spun around, dropped, and flew air floor flipper. Now, we fast forward a few years to 2016. Crushtacean returned to put in an appearance with the live circuit and was going to be in Series 8, but due to schedule clashes, the team couldn't make it, so they withdrew. But they did get in Series 9. They landed in Heat D and drew Drum Spinner Pulsar and 2 horizontal bar spinners in Apex and Ironside 3. Yeah, there's a common theme here. Things that spin. Crushtacean also had red anti-spinner paint. Early on, Crushtacean tried to find a target, but it took a hit from Ironside 3 that knocked it out. I'd add cold to that, but Crushtacean landed nice and neatly on the flame pit, so that word does not apply. Crushtacean didn't return after that. Crushtacean is a very interesting robot because of its weapon system. The driving let them down against Chaos 2, which is a shame because they had that win right there, even with only one claw. But still, they showed no fear. They nearly beat Chaos 2. They really did beat Behemoth. And they got a win over the robot that won the second series of Dutch Robot Wars in Pulverizer. Their win over Behemoth in particular, very efficient win. Just introduce them to an angle grinder, drop them in the pit. That's kind of what Tough as Nails ended up being known for. And of course, we cannot forget it's Timeless Crabbot, and it was a grand finalist in the Turbo Wars. It did alright. I mean, I kind of thought it could have made the semi-finals, but it just didn't happen for Crushtacean. But it did also make the heat finals when it had its good run. So, just move the cheese grater. Who is next? Taiki? Pretty please. It's the season of goodwill. Be kind. Spectre. Oh. Until next week, Carlson244. Out.